Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Harding. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a histogram on your calculator. To do that, we're going to need a data set to work with, and I'm going to use one from your textbook. On page 4, there's a spreadsheet of data at the top, and the data I'm going to use is the wrist circumference. The place on your calculator that you go to enter your data is to hit Stat and then Edit. And you can see that I've already entered the information. Oops, I made a mistake on my first number. It should be 180. There we go. If you want to pause the video and enter those numbers, or if you want to pull them right from page 4, that's fine. Once you have your data in, the next thing that you need to do is to set up your histogram. You do that by hitting Second, Stat Plot. We need to go to Plot 1, and the first thing you do is turn it on, then arrow down to the type of plot, and we're going to do a histogram, so you'll hit Enter over the histogram. Next, you need to tell the calculator where your list of data is. It will default to L1, which is where we put our data, but you can add any other lists in there that you might need to plot. Then you're going to have the calculator set up the plot for you by hitting Zoom and then select number 9 for Zoom Stat. And you can see that you have a histogram. You can trace the histogram, and what it tells you is the minimum value and maximum value for that bin, and that there is one value in the bin. You can arrow over and see that there is one bin that is at least 126 but less than 156.5. In the next bin, you can see there are 7 values that are 156.5 up to 187. A lot of times, the bin widths that the calculator picks for you may not be exactly what you're looking for. So you can alter this by going to the window and setting up your own dimensions. So for X-min for this one, I'm going to put in 0. You can't have negative wrist circumference. The largest number in the list looks to be about 187, so I'm just going to put 200 in here. The X scale is where you tell the calculator how wide you want the bins to be. If I had smaller numbers, I might just do bin widths of 1. I have fairly large numbers here. I'm going to do a bin width of 25. Underneath Y min, I'm actually going to put -5 here, not because there can be a negative amount within a bin, but just to make the graph look a little better. It's lifted off of the bottom just a little bit. The Y max, there's only 10 numbers in the data set, so in any one bin, there's unlikely to be more than maybe 7 or 8. And the Y scale, you can leave it at 1, you can make it whatever you like. A lot of people often ask, how do you know the Y max? There is no one right number for that. You just have to make it large enough that you can see the tops of all of your bins. Once you've set up all these dimensions, you just hit Graph, and you can see the histogram in a different form. But you can still trace it and then use the arrow keys to see how many values are in each bin. So here in the bin that's at least 50 but less than 75, there's 1. There are none in those bins. And then from 125 to less than 150, there is 1 value. There's 5 values here. And 3 values that are at least 175 but less than 200. If you have any other questions about creating histograms on your calculator, please definitely ask.